Okay, hey, it's Eclipse is back again. I'll be doing a reaction video today. Sapphic ship battle. Before I start the reaction, I've been into like lesbian relationships on shows and games, and I hate how they make it like some of them kind of like weird and they kind of over sexualize them. I hate that. And I had a chatter in my chat once saying that they had this like Walking Dead like Choose an Adventure coming out, and they said that they wanted Michonne and Andrea to get together. How the hell would that work out for a character like Michonne and a character like Andrea of the past? So how are you gonna? You can't. And people, I think it's mainly men. Like their minds just go straight to like, oh hey, this can happen because that. Like, really. Have it make sense. At least a little bit. But yeah. They're more sister. They're more of like sister bond or whatever. Like they don't have like a girlfriend bond or whatever and girlfriends. But anyways, most of the ships that started was Clark and Lexa. Then there's Yellow Jackets. There's a few that's on there. Then there's Wyatt Hutt from Wine Earp. There's quite a few. Then there's a few on Walking Dead, which it wasn't really as popular. There's a few on, I'm forgetting the names of the shows right now. But and there's Warrior Nun. Oh, and thing is, didn't they confirm movies for that, and they never updated us? They never said like, oh hey, like movie is coming soon now, or like an update. All they said was just the show was canceled on Netflix. Then they announced something that they said, oh hey that we're working on something, and they never announced a new movie, show, nothing. No news on it at all. They just forgot about it. Did they really do that to us? That's why I'm starting to not like Netflix anymore. Why would I watch Netflix if they keep doing that to us? Anyways, let's start the reaction. I'm gonna start doing more reactions. I'm gonna be putting the channels in the description. So yeah, it's basically a shout out, and whenever I do reaction videos, it'll be on the description as well. So yeah, I want to do more of these. I don't want to do gameplays anymore, so I want to do like more other types of videos. I don't want to just do one type of video and then yeah. But yeah, this is one of my favorite YouTubers. She does
Patty, and today I'm going to be taking a closer look at some of my favorite Sapphic ships on television in a quite competitive way. And because doing it on my own would be boring, I called in some reinforcements, and thankfully she answered my call. So today I'm here with the amazing Caitlin, aka Kfunggg.
Hi Patty. You ready to tussle?
I'm ready to throw hands. So today I'm joined by the amazing Caitlin, who is a creator that is super active on TikTok, and if you do not live under a rock, you've definitely seen one video, even all of her videos on Yellow Jackets, because she's your source for everything Yellow Jackets related, everything Sapphic related, just an amazing person, amazing creator, and I'm so happy that she's here with me.
Oh, thank you for
having me.
See all the
Buffy
Patty.
the Vampire Slayer.
Do I mention the Godforsaken show?
I think that's the only one. Ready or not? I see.
It will probably come up.
Scream, I see on the corner.
It will come up.
Thank you so much for having me, Patty. I've been such a huge fan of your reaction videos. We DM'd, and I was like, oh my god, this is like a surreal moment. And then
really,
we spoke a little bit more, and then you were like, let's do a collab, and I was like, this is gonna be so much fun, and I'm really excited for us to duke it out.
Me too. Who doesn't love talking or yapping about Sapphic ships? I know I do, and Caitlin does too, and what better time to do it than Pride Month. Happy Pride. In this video, Caitlin and I are going to play a game that we've called Ship Battle. Basically, we came up with a pool of 30 Sapphic television ships and 15 categories or tropes that apply to those, some more so than others. In order to play Ship Battle, we first have to do a draft where we both get 10 picks out of the 30 ship pool. We're performing this as a snake draft, meaning person A gets the first ship pick, person B follows it up with the second and the third, it goes back to person A for 4 and 5. You will get the gist of it. Once the draft is concluded and we both have our 10 ship rosters, we can finally play the game. And here's how it works. At the beginning of each round, we spin a wheel that has our categories on it. A category gets chosen, and then we both get a moment to take a look at our rosters and figure out which ship best fits or applies to that category. Then we both get 90 seconds to make the case for the ship that we've chosen and to argue why it is the superior one in that category. Once we've both delivered our 90-second arguments, we try to be objective and decide who made the better case, and therefore whose ship should win that category and secure a point. Once a category and a ship have been used, they no longer appear in the remaining game. We play 10 rounds of this, therefore we will be using 20 ships and 10 categories overall. The first 5 rounds or categories will be featured in this video, the remaining 5 in Caitlin's. So you have to head over to her video to find out who the overall winner of Ship Battle is and to see which categories happen. Another reason why you should watch both videos is that we both recorded our individual POVs of preparing for this game. Therefore, our individual draft strategies and our reasonings behind why we chose certain ships. You have to watch both videos to find out what we were thinking when we picked those specific ships. And it's also quite entertaining to see if our strategies unfolded in the way that we wanted them to unfold or if they crashed and burned. If you like the concept of this video, please let us know because Caitlin and I might feel inspired to revisit this again, potentially with movie ships, potentially with entirely different categories. I don't know, give us ideas in the comments below.
Choose your character.
It is now time for the draft and to decide who goes first in our snake draft. We're gonna spin a wheel. I personally love a wheel. Patty's nervous and so am I. Are we ready?
Yeah. No, we're not ready, but go for it. Okay, so what are you gonna do?
Okay, so I have one to pick. I'm gonna pick first.
Congratulations! I'm sorry.
In the first pick of our WLW ship battle, I select Jackie Shauna.
Okay.
Is that what you thought I was gonna do?
I don't know. I knew you were gonna go for them, but I figured you were gonna pick
Yellow
a different one
Jackets right
first.
away.
So.
Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, now Patty gets 2.
I've genuinely
really need to
lost
explain that
sleep
because I've
over
talked
this
about it before
draft.
on
With
YouTube.
my first pick, I'm gonna try
Jackie
and go
Shauna.
for Klexa because I think they are the most versatile ship on this list. I feel like they apply to a whole bunch of categories, tick all the right boxes. So I'm actually just gonna go for them with my first pick, and I really hope Caitlin doesn't pick Klexa before I get a chance to because that is my whole plan.
I mentioned that in the
Klexa
beginning of
and
the video,
vibes.
like info.
So with the second pick of the Viliva ship draft, I select Klexa.
I will admit, I knew that you were gonna pick it, and I said in my draft thing, I was like, I'm letting Patty take it. Like,
Aw, that's cute. I get the second pick as well. Ooh. I'm nervous. If I get Klexa, my second pick is gonna be Avatrice. Also tick a whole bunch of boxes, a whole bunch of categories. Okay, with my second pick, I'm gonna take Avatrice.
Okay. That does put a wrench in my plans. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, this
Okay,
is
oh
great.
God.
This is good, because it's gonna make me think.
Who's your second pick?
My second pick, I'm going with Damie from Bly Manor.
Fuck.
Wasted.
Okay, so you get the next one as well, right?
And with my third pick,
Widow Airwick looks a little scared.
do I do it?
Hunting a blind.
Do I do it to you?
No.
Yeah, okay, well.
Casey,
With my third pick,
I see
I'm
that
picking
from
Kate
the Netflix show. Yeah.
I knew you were gonna go. I knew this was gonna be one we both want.
I do think that Caitlin might snatch them up before me though, because she also really likes Arcane.
But I had it a bit later on my list. No, I hate it here. I love them.
Yeah, double homicide.
With my third, this is my third pick, right? Yeah. With my third pick, I'm gonna try to get Claire. Because, hear me out, I know they're a non-canon ship, but we don't have a lot of non-canon ships on our list, but we do have a non-canon ship category. They fit a whole bunch of other categories as well. And that means I'm gonna try and go for them fairly early. Caitlin, Caitlin, please give me Claire. With my third pick, I'm gonna select Claire.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a very nonchalant reaction. You do not care about
No,
Wenclear.
I don't.
Okay.
Caitlin, please give me Wenclear.
And that means I also get another pick, right? With that one, I'm gonna take... That's my fourth one. With my fourth pick, I'm gonna try and secure Cali in Arizona. Breaking up multiple times, conceiving a child with another person. I'm going to Africa without you. Like, what was that? So they do fit those negative categories a bit better, but they also have a wedding, a wholesome little wedding, so they could come in handy for that. I am going to take Kelly in Arizona from Grey's Anatomy. Did you want them as well?
It's a very versatile ship.
Need to leave
practice.
That's why I'm picking him.
a Wi-Fi
No
extender.
pressure.
Okay.
Non-
With my
sub-
fourth pick,
extenders.
I'm gonna pick Villeneuve.
Better Wi-Fi.
I knew you were gonna go for them. I didn't even put them on my list.
I think they're just like very versatile as well. Like
They are, yeah, for sure.
they're very compelling.
Streams
as
keep
well.
failing.
Okay,
so
and then I get a
I have
fifth
to.
pick. Yeah, I'll do it. With my fifth pick, I'll take Hosey.
You will go there.
I will.
You'll do it. So this is how we
I
met,
will.
you guys. This is how we
Yeah.
met years ago on Hosey Twitter. Very nostalgic.
Yeah.
You already get a point for that.
Yeah.
Hosey. My turn then. With pick number 5, I will
Legacies.
try and go for Casey and Izzy, aka Kazzy from Atypical. If we actually go there,
That
they
was what I
both
was talking
fit
about,
enemies
Typical.
to lovers and
I was
friends
like,
to
oh,
lovers
hey, like
because
Netflix.
their pipeline was
Typical
enemies
was the
to
name of the
friends to
show.
lovers. And they definitely have that huge first kiss needle drop moment that was very iconic.
That was in that
So
gym
I think
thing.
they're also a very
Yeah,
strong contender, and I
track.
would love to have them in my corner, on my bench, whatever. So with my fifth pick, I will select Kazzy from Atypical. You had them on your list too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking.
With pick number 6, I'm gonna go for the ghost story, or was it a love story? The Death Trope girlies.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I feel like if I don't get Jamie and Danny from Bly Manor, I will kind of go for another Death Trope couple. And here I get very controversial because I might go for your Kelly simply because I like the idea of offering up a whole different perspective on a death trope. It wasn't the bad death trope, it was kind of a good one. Okay, with my sixth pick, I'm gonna take your Kelly from Black Mirror.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Shit. Yes. With my sixth pick, I'm picking Caliette from First Kill.
Oh, that's a good one.
So now 7. For 7, I'm gonna put Freeland from the originals.
Okay. I have to think this through for a second, because I had a backup plan for some ships, but not for Kate Vi. And Caliette was kind of my backup.
That sucks.
There's one that I know you want. I really thought you would pick him early, and now I feel bad because I have them on my list too. But I want them. My pick
Just
number
a reaction
7.
is
I'm
like,
very
stop.
certain
Hold up.
that they're too low on my list, and I think Caitlin is gonna snatch him up. I'm talking obviously about Thaisa and Van, about Tai Van. Tick so many boxes, have that whole 25-year history that we know nothing about. A breakup definitely happened.
the-
They will be
the
mine.
time skip on Yellow
So we are gonna
Jackets.
be in the Yellow Jackets sphere, and I'm gonna pick Tai Van. Oh, I thought you were gonna pick him earlier.
Yeah, but I didn't think you were gonna go after them. But that was gonna be like my next thing. But
I'm sorry.
now
I'm truly
it's okay.
sorry.
it's okay.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I love
5,
them.
6.
Now I have to fight against
I think
Tai
on
Van.
the next video,
That's gonna be
I'm
rough,
gonna be
right?
skipping
Okay.
this part.
For my
The whole, like,
8th pick,
the whole
I'm
them
gonna
picking it.
go.
With my 8th pick, I'm gonna try and get Kate Vi. So by the time this video comes
I
out,
might
I
skip the
probably haven't
intro
released my
and
arcane reactions
picking
yet.
the names
So
because
you don't know
I-
that I'm obsessed with them.
Isn't we've
I've
already
heard
seen
so
it in
much
this.
AO3 on them, it's not healthy. I
I'll
love them so
still
much, and I
give
think
them
they
a
are
shout
so
out
cute, and they
bottom of the
also take
video.
a bunch of
I'm just
boxes.
saying.
I do think that
We're not
Caitlin
gonna
might
watch
snatch them
that
up
again.
before me, though, because she also really likes arcane.
What the hell we gonna do now?
I honestly think both of the Wilds ships kind of work as a good replacement for that. Shoni obviously as a canon one also had a breakup, so they kind of tick a whole bunch of category boxes, which is good. I might go and pivot to the Wilds. to replace them.
I like the whole.
I'm gonna go
crack
with
thing,
Shoni from the Wilds.
Okay.
Was not my plan.
Another one of those where I was like,
Which didn't continue
I'll let
Life is
Patty
Stranger,
have
remember?
any of the wild ships.
Oh, I didn't want both of them. Oh god, that sounds horrible. But no, they're my backups. They were my Kate Vi and my Kazi backups. I had to pull that card.
So you're definitely more organized than me because I didn't have any backups, and now I'm kind of just like looking around at how I organize this, and it's truly horrible.
This is so funny to me because my entire draft strategy, I was saying like, oh, Caitlin is so analytical. She has a whole approach. I'm just here. I don't know. I'm gonna pick these 10. I'm fairly certain that our approaches are a wee bit different. I feel like Caitlin is a very analytical, very smart person. Like the way she analyzes yellow jackets all the time.
Right.
I think she has a very analytical approach,
anyways,
and she has
trying
it
to
all
see how
figured
long.
out and has backup plans to backup plans. Whereas I have like 10 ships I want, and if I don't get one of them, my whole plan will fall apart. Hope it works out. And now it turns out it was the other way around.
Yeah, I planned
Trying to
this
see on
this
time.
morning.
I planned it an hour ago, but still.
But I do like that, like,
I'm gonna watch
now
this
that
one
you've taken some
first.
off the board,
Go to the store.
it's forcing me to
do
make
all the
other
stuff that I need,
decisions.
then come
Okay.
back
So that way I
and
don't have
watch
to
the
decide
second
between
one.
two. So, okay, I
Test
have
the
8 and 9.
stream.
So I'm gonna pick.
Thing up.
One eternity later.
Which one can I argue
You're
better?
killing
No,
me.
I'm gonna go with Catradora.
I knew you were gonna go for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a prediction. I think she might go for Jackie Shauna. I think she really loves Jackie Shauna. And I kind of see her going for some of the animated couples. I could see her go for Kate Vi, but I can see her go for Catradora and Korosami potentially.
My 9th pick, I'm gonna hit him with. I'm just gonna pick them because I like them. Emisu.
I also knew you were gonna go for them, yeah. I feel very validated because there were a couple of ships where I was like, oh, I think she's gonna pick them. So I like was like, okay, I'm gonna leave those, and I think you did the same.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
cute. I feel like sure there is some overlap, and I don't even feel bad for stealing Taiwan because you stole Damie and Kate Vi, of course. Okay, so I have 9th and 10th right now. Ooh. Oh, this is the problem because for 9 and 10, I basically wrote 2 that I want for each pick. So now I have to decide. Pick number 9, I have 2 written down and I'm just gonna go with whatever is available and maybe based on vibes. So right now I have down Way Hot and Steprel. Let me explain. Steprel, my biggest loss, honestly. Teenage Bounty Hunter is such a quirky little show, my biggest loss when it comes to Netflix shows. April and Sterling had such a cool, interesting dynamic. Or I'll go for Way Hot, which is kind of the opposite, honestly. Made for each other. They were like such an endgame ship. Really depends on where we are when we get there. But I am gonna go with my 9th pick. I'm gonna go for Way Hot from Winona Earp. You knew I was gonna go for that one, right?
I was just talking about them in the
But I
beginning
had
too.
it competing with another one. I just picked it because right now it felt right. Okay, and then I have my last pick, and now you're gonna laugh. And here we are at the last pick, my dreaded, most hated pick ever. But we have a category, toxic and messy and like so bad for representation. I feel like I have to have something just in case this category comes up. A ship that I absolutely despise, and that would be Josie and Finch from Legacies. If you know, you know.
Daddy, this is so bad.
It was a dreadful time. My last pick, I think I have to do it.
You're gonna pick one of the bad ones.
Of course. But there's only really 2, right?
Yeah, so it's which one do you want to argue more, John or Paley? I'm guessing you're gonna pick Paley.
No, I'm gonna pick Jonch. Did you want them? I'm sorry.
I don't even that honestly my plan, I wasn't even gonna pick one of them.
Then I felt like I have to have one bad ship. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, so now I'm like, okay, if you have a bad ship, maybe I can take the other bad ship. But I'm looking at my other ones and I'm like, okay, could I argue that any of these are bad? I guess the answer is no.
Well, I don't want to influence you, but I think it would be funny because then imagine the bad category
didn't
doesn't
really
come,
watch the show.
and you have
Exactly.
and we have to use them. It would be so much fun.
I don't fuck with
There's
Paley.
some- the
like
whole
that,
show
but
is
I
bad.
think I have to.
Some people
Yeah, I
stopped
guess I'll
watching.
do
Some
it.
people. It was
For number
canceled,
10,
too, so I
I'll
wasn't
follow
really
in
sure to
Patty's
watch
lead.
it or
I'll
not.
take Paige and Emily from Pretty Little Liars.
Woo!
Woo! The electric in the air!
For the bit.
in my opinion, I think I can speak for the both of us. It feels horrible to pick two ships that are absolutely diabolical and pick those over actual good ships that are still in the draft system. But we got to do it for the plot, you know?
Yeah, we do. We have to do it for the bit.
We have one category that is horrible, like where we need a horrible ship. Just saying, it makes sense because you never know what comes up. Here's our overview for the ships for our teams that we've picked, and that will.
Okay, I want to pause it for a second. The 100, I mentioned them. I mentioned Warrior Nun. Wednesday, I should have mentioned them in the beginning because I really shipped them, and when they first hugged at the end of, I think, the finale, you can see something there, but that's the only one that could work based on the story that they've been heading towards. But then Jenna Ortega said Wednesday is not the type of person to have a relationship, but the way that they were making the story and the way that they were heading towards, that's the only one that works, if she does. Grey's Anatomy, never saw her. Cassie, a typical, that's the one that I mentioned in the beginning. Black Mirror, Your Kelly, that's been a while ago. I don't think I remember that one. Yellow Jackets, that's what I mentioned before. I mentioned Wine Earth. I talked about Legacies for a second. The Wilds, I missed that show. She-Ra, that was a good show too. I talked about it on stream with a few Twitch friends too when we played The Last of Us multiplayer. And Misu Dickinson, that was the very first Apple TV show that I watched. Paley, A Pretty Little Liars. I've seen the show, but I forget it. Killing Eve, Arcane was very good. Killing Eve was good too. First Kill I watched, I think the first 2 episodes, and then I stopped. The originals, I've seen a bunch of edits, but then I never watched it. And Blind Manor, I've watched the whole thing just because of the ship. And yeah, let's continue.
We'll send into this ship battle. The draft is concluded. We have our teams, which means we're ready to go into battle. And I guess it's time to find out what the first category is. Uh-oh.
All right. Let's spin the wheel. I'm quite nervous. Oh.
Oh, I thought we were gonna go there.
I was so excited to just get rid of our ships.
Yeah. Oh god. Okay, but we do get a little moment to think which one we're gonna pick.
Okay, so we're with Best First Kiss, and right now I'm thinking Cachadora because it's like a 5-season long build-up. She's like, "I love you," whatever. I forgot what exactly she says, and then they kiss, and then they literally save the world with that kiss.
I look at the ships that I have right here. My immediate first thought was Cassie because that's a needle drop. That's a good moment.
A lot of the categories I have Cachadora in also fit Caliet and Zelenive, and those two I also have. So I actually think Cachadora might be the move.
Now that I'm looking at it, I'm also thinking Avatrice. That was a good first kiss. Oh, so now it's between those two. I don't know which one, you guys. I'm so sorry.
I'm feeling it. I'm like really, really feeling it. Patty has Avatrice, Cassie, Caliet's on here, Ty Van's also on here, and Kate Vi. But like Kate Vi I want to save.
I really, really, really loved Kate Vi's first kiss. So she might send in Kate Vi, and I can't kind of argue with that because I loved their first kiss.
I think I can use Cachadora and still be okay.
Cachadora had a good one. Oh, she has the better ships for this. Oh no. Okay, do I burn Cassie? This is horrible. Do I do Cassie or do I do Avatrice? I was torn between two.
I feel pretty confident about mine.
Oh, fuck.
But like, yeah, in the way, like this is such a tough first category and we have to make some very important decisions.
This is the worst first category ever. The ship I'm gonna send into the best first kiss battle is Avatrice.
Okay. And I am going to send in Cachadora to fight Avatrice.
Okay, I thought you were gonna do Cachadora or Kate Vi.
Avatrice.
Oh Jesus!
I'm
so nervous. I'm so nervous.
I am so nervous.
The other one was
Okay, I'm gonna make the case
actually, it's
for
a tie
Avatrice.
to
Let's
me.
go. Okay, when it comes to Avatriss's first kiss, it's the only kiss they had on the show, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that's the
and
thing.
It was a very intense needle drop moment. Ava was about to sacrifice herself. She revealed that she was going to sacrifice herself with that kiss to Beatrice. This kiss meant so much. You could say it was a kiss of death too, because well, we don't know if she really died, but still, you could say that. It was a kiss of death. It was a true love's kiss. It was all the kisses
exactly what
possible.
she's saying. That's
and
what I think.
We loved it. The fandom, we loved it. It was amazing. Music, choreography, because they were kind of fighting before they kissed. And then she disappeared through the floor, but we can argue that that was kind of a weird way to get out of the first kiss. But still, it was great. It was amazing. I loved every second of it. You can see that in my reaction. Shameless plug. It was just they were pining. Is Coleman's beautiful first kiss, which I think is one of the best first kisses ever. And it was a slow burn through 2 seasons, and we deserve that kiss. And it sucks that she died after, but maybe she'll be back. I don't know. In my heart, she's still alive. Bye.
Nice. I'm nervous. I don't know how you did that so well.
I don't know. I was pulling stuff from I don't know where. Okay, you're up.
Okay, let's talk about Cachordora's first kiss. Patty's talking about a slow burn with Avatrice, right? 2 seasons. You know how many seasons Cachordora has? 5. 5 seasons, and they were like childhood best friends, and then they're on opposite sides of this space war for 5 seasons, and the whole time people are like, are they ever gonna get together? Are they ever? It's this push and pull. They're at a dance and they're doing all this stuff, and then you get to the season finale, series finale of the show, and what's happening? Adora is like dying, and Catra's like, no, you can't die. I love you. And you know what happens? They kiss, and it literally saves the world. It saves the world. Their first kiss saves the world. And one of them didn't disappear through the floor afterwards.
I'm gonna give these channels a shout out.
But yeah, it was this will they, won't they of 5 seasons, and it was such a great payoff that you finally see them kiss. And it's this amazing moment of them finally reconciling their differences and realizing that they were on the same side this whole time, and that they've loved each other throughout this whole thing. And that's all I got, but I'm gonna keep talking. Yeah, that's my whole thing is that it was a longer build up, and it was arguably a little more iconic because not only do they kiss, but you know that they will kiss again because one of them did not disappear into the portal. I'm done.
Evil. Okay. I just want to add one thing. It will not. I already have a verdict, so it will not change my verdict. But Avatrice's first kiss also saved the world.
But you didn't say that in your minute and a half, Patty.
I know. I think I'm gonna give that point to you. I think.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, for real. 5 seasons slow burn versus a 2 season slow burn. You had the whole friends to enemies to lovers to whatever. I gotta give it to you.
Oh, thank you, Patty. As you can see, my strategy is
just tearing me down.
Ass.
Unfortunately, those 90 seconds are too long. Because you got to tear me down for 60.
But that's also the advantage of getting to speak second.
True. I didn't see it that way, which means now you have to go first.
So I have 1 point. Team Caitlin has 1 point.
Winner.
Uh-oh.
Breakup. So most nonsensical breakup is the category. Let's talk to my people.
Yep.
I don't know. I might go with Cassie because I hated their breakup.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Full confession. Okay, so who has broken up in my list?
We could argue Calzona had a bunch of breakups. Clexa had a breakup.
And then like the only other person is Freeland, but I need them for a wedding.
So I think I might go with Cassie, but it feels bad. I feel like I'm burning a good ship.
I mean, like, is Freeland that great? I mean, they have a nice wedding. So then what happens if the wedding comes up?
That breakup pissed me off, so I think I can argue about it. Okay, I think I'm ready. I'm gonna send in Casey and Izzy.
What's the category again? I don't even remember.
I think she might go with Freeland had a breakup.
I think I have to do Freeland. Okay. I'm not very confident with my choice here.
Oh, okay.
What are we calling it? Best nonsensical breakup? No, worse.
Yeah, well, dumbest breakup, kind of.
Yeah, okay.
Nonsensical, dumbest breakup. Breakup that pissed us off.
I'm gonna go with Freya and Keelan from the originals.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Cassie from Atypical. Make your case for Freeland having a dumb breakup.
I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Okay, so if you don't know, Freya and Keelan from the originals.
Let's see what happens in 20
minutes. A witch and a werewolf, and arguably
I'm trying to set this
how did
up.
they get into this relationship?
So I'm
Freya
watching this video first.
Keelan one time. But you would think after all of those things, being kidnapped, you would be, tied to this person through and through, that you wouldn't want to break up with them. But apparently they had to break up because Keelan wanted to do things with her life and Freya was so dedicated to her family. But when you get involved with the Michelsons, you should know that already, right? Like, this is family always and forever. Am I right? So, Freya has to take care of Hope, and all of the Michelsons are across the globe, and Keelan's like, no, I want to live my distance. But I just thought, Freya, and then you know what? They got back together in the end, and married, so it was all not necessary.
And they have a son, actually, named after Freya's family. Mm-hmm. Okay. I see your Freeland breakup, and I raise you the Cassie breakup. So, Freeland, that was actually a fast burn, if you really think about it, right? It was from season 4 to season 5, if I recall correctly. So that's a fast burn. I'm doing the same thing she did last round.
I think that's a while ago, so I forget what happened.
Juxtaposition, you have Cassie, which was more of a build-up, in my opinion. You go from enemies, from hating each other, to besties with homoerotic feelings for each other, totally in love, but both kind of seeing it, but also kind of not seeing it. Then you had the most amazing first kiss. I was going to use this for needle drop, but this category came first. It is one of the best Sapphic first kisses. You can't argue with that. That for sure is the truth. Nothing but the truth. And then they finally start dating. No, I know they cheated on Evan, but who cares about him and his fucking, what was it? What is he playing, a trumpet or something like that? No one cares about him. So was he even playing a trumpet? I don't know. Am I mixing things up? I don't know. Anyways, they cheated. It doesn't matter. Cheating is okay. I excuse cheating when it's Cassie. And then they have all this build up, and Izzy is the best thing Casey has going on. There's so much stress in the final season. She's going through so much. Izzy is the best thing ever. And then comes in the fuck-ass dad, who comes in and tells Izzy that she's not good enough. And then Izzy goes and breaks up with Casey when she's the only good thing Casey has going on right now. It did not make any sense. They came all that way from enemies to friends to lovers. And then to break up, no, in a fucking car, no. It doesn't, it's worst breakup ever. Sorry.
Exactly what she's saying.
I didn't even talk about the breakup much.
Down one. Down one for me.
Cheating is okay if it's Cassie.
Yeah.
I was on the spot. I just said it and I had to go along with it.
I'm going to give you that point.
You're giving it to me?
I think you were very passionate and it made more...
Winner.
The third category
it's tied 1-1.
Oh god. Okay.
Best friends to lovers. One of my favorite tropes ever, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have a problem.
You have a problem? Mm-hmm. Maybe I do too.
Okay, I have a problem.
I have a problem.
Everything is a problem.
Right now we're at Jackie, Shauna, Hosey, and actually maybe Emisu. Wait, I think Emisu can work.
When Claire arguably could be friends to lovers, I don't want to burn them as a non-canon ship.
You know what's better than best friends to lovers? Sisters to lovers.
What did he say?
Oh.
So I think I might have to go with Way Hot. It feels a bit wrong.
And everyone else I have on here aren't really best friends. I think that's the move.
They didn't start dating right away, even though they had immediate attraction and meet cute and everything, but they didn't start dating right away, so I'm gonna argue friends to lovers.
And then the question is, who is Patty gonna use?
So the category is friends to lovers, and I feel like I don't have a perfect one for that. But now I'm gonna send in Way Hot.
Oh, wow. That was not what I was expecting you to use.
Oh, really? What did you expect?
Maybe I was thinking One Claire. Because I was similarly looking at your list and I was like, you don't really have a lot of friends here.
So who are you choosing for battle?
I am picking Emisu.
Emisu.
2
making the case
two
for
very
Way
good
Hot.
ships. So I'm gonna watch this straight through.
So Waverly and Nicole met and they had instant chemistry right away. So I could see how they're not necessarily the perfect fit for friends to lovers because there was instant chemistry, there was an instant interest, but they did not date right away. So you could argue that they became friendly first before they started dating.
They're both a tie.
Waverly at the time was also in a relationship with that weird ass man.
Let's see what happens.
We can forget about him. He was irrelevant because the second Nicole walked into the bar, we knew this was going to be the endgame ship. This is why I wanted them as potentially best ship because they had ups and downs, but they were very consistent. And unfortunately, I have to use them for friends to lovers, which on paper it doesn't work, but it does work, okay? Because Nicole was married at the time. Waverly had a boyfriend. She didn't even know she might be interested in women, but then she realized it because being friends with Nicole got her there. She spent more time with Nicole and was like, wait, this kind of works. Maybe I'm interested in her. What did she say? Do chicks dig scars or something like that when she was trying to realize if she liked girls or not? Why am I saying this? Anyways, they're friends to lovers because they became friendly first. They kept their urges down, even though they wanted to jump each other's bones. They were like, okay, we gotta be friends because we're dating other people. But then eventually it became the most beautiful love story ever with a nice wedding and cute sister-in-law shenanigans, and we love it.
The only thing I haven't seen was the final season. I gotta still see the final season. I gotta watch it.
Oh God, they were not a good pick for this, but what else?
Watched the first 3 seasons.
Show me your Emmy Sue.
All right, so we have
then I never
Emmy Sue,
watched
which is Emily
season
Dickinson
4, then I
and
watched
Sue
that
Gilbert
little
from
short
Dickinson
movie.
or Real Life.
It was like a show movie.
And do you know?
But now
a
this
lot of
is on Apple
times
TV.
You're so close with someone that you feel like sisters, don't you? And you know what Emmy Sue are? They're sister-in-laws. Sue Gilbert married Emily's brother. Maybe this wasn't the best road to go down, but hear me out. Emily and Sue are close confidants, right? Emily has Sue read her poetry, and you know who the poetry is about? It's about Sue. And so sometimes you don't I don't know where I'm going with this. What am I trying to say? So Emily and Sue they started out as neighbors, they grew up next to each other, they're very close, they were childhood best friends, and then it grew into something more. Emily's writing her poems, whatever, but then Sue had to do her lavender marriage with Emily's brother, again, tying back to that, but that's okay, because Patty said before cheating's okay if it was Cassie. Well, I'm saying cheating's okay if it was Emmy Sue. And they are always looking out for each other, and they're very close, and they're very good friends, and Patty's making me laugh, and they're great. I love them.
Why did you sister zone your own ship?
I don't know. Hi, sisters. I thought it would be funny, and then I realized I backed myself into a hole. I think because I sister zoned, I might have lost.
I don't think so, actually. You know, there is this fine line with Sapphic ships where so often people who just don't get it sit there and say into their cameras, "Oh, I always thought they had more of a sister vibe going on," or "I quite like them as sisters.
They seem to be very good friends."
So it is a very fine line between sister zoning and scissoring. No, sorry, no. Between
What now?
why did I say that? Between sister zoning and friends. Mm-hmm. So I think I might actually give that to you.
Are you sure? But I guess there was like a.
There's more of a history. Yeah. I will give it to you because sister zoning is equivalent to friends to lovers. Sorry, I'm giving it to you.
Okay, thanks, Patty.
I want to know what to choose.
Winner.
What's dog?
Next category. Oh.
Death
trope.
trope. Very common in the Sapphic community.
You win that round.
Are you already deciding?
I know you're gonna win this round. I know who you're gonna pick. This was my pick for this specific category. So I know who you're gonna pick. And I know you're gonna win.
You got a couple people.
Who?
Most people, like what I can remember,
I have
and the
one
top
specific.
thing would be like St. Clark.
The one that I
Would be
have, I
Deathstroke.
specifically took for this category. So,
But it's not.
As Patty said, I do have one very special ship for this.
so I'm thinking definitely she's putting Damien.
And this is exactly why I chose them. I'm picking Damie. The most obvious pick. And the beautiful thing about it is it's not Bury Your Gaze. I mean, Patty could either go Klexa or Tyvan, but I think Patty's going to save Klexa for something else. So she'll probably talk about Tyvan.
I specifically picked Yorkie and Kelly just for this. Could be nice to switch it around and make a positive death trope point because they both died, but it was happy death. And I also rewatched it today, so I know all about it.
Tyvan death trope. It's very sad, but like Van's death wasn't done very well. So, but you know who was done well? Damie. Oh my god, they make me so sad every time I think about it.
Who are you sending into battle?
My death trope ship will be Damie from Bly Manor.
What a surprise.
Yeah, I saw that one coming, and I see your Damie, and I raise you with something out of the box, maybe? I don't know. That was my idea, my intention. I'm gonna send in Yorkie and Kelly from Black Mirror.
Oh, okay.
Specifically
cool.
picked them for this.
Interesting. I literally forgot what San Junipero was about. So.
I rewatched it today.
Oh, okay. Sick.
Make your case.
Okay. Danny and Jamie from The Haunting of Bly Manor, arguably one of the most tragic Sapphic ships, and it's not Bury Your Gaze, and that's what makes this ship one of the best death trope ships, because it wasn't some senseless lesbian killing that happens so often on television. It was centered in the love that Danny and Jamie have for each other. You know that Danny's days are numbered, and yet they still live their life together, and are constantly fighting every day to continue their love and relationship. And then you have the end of the show where the lady in the lake was different now. The lady in the lake was Danny, and Danny would never. And that right there should be it. It should be it. And years pass. What is it, like probably like 30 years or whatever? I don't know. And Jamie still leaves her door open so the ghost of Danny can comfort her, and we see that last hand on her shoulder in the last shot of the show. And yes, Danny did die, but they were able to live out as much time as they could with each other, and their love continues even after her death. And there's this constant idea of in the show of love lives on, and yeah. They just mean so much to me, and they make me so very sad.
It was not a ghost story. It was a love story.
Exactly.
Yep. What she's saying. So true.
See, before, I already knew you were going to pick them. I already knew you were going to do them right, because they are the death trope ship that we had in the mix for this. I'm very disappointed I didn't get them. But I got a replacement, and that would be Yorkie and Kelly from Black Mirror. So here I am presenting my case.
Sick.
Who wins this one?
I mean, I'm partial to Damie because I love Damie.
But I do like that I turned it into a positive thing. That death trope doesn't have to be tragic, you know?
No, your argument was good. But then I also talked about how Jamie's always waiting for Danny's ghost. And love lives on, even after death.
She's got a point.
They live on after death, too. They are in the cloud. Or whatever.
Wait for Jamie to die. They'll be reunited.
I want to give it to you because I also love Damie. Yeah, I want to give it to you because I think the comments would give it to you as well because it is the more popular ship. So,
but I do think you made a valiant effort against a powerhouse death trope ship.
Thank you.
We need to pick this one category.
Which one do you want gone?
I need borderline homophobic gone.
Homophobic gone, yeah, same.
So this is the last category of Patty's video.
Unfortunately.
But be sure to check out my video where we'll do 5 more categories.
Ooh, shameless plug.
Yep.
I want to finish strong. I don't want borderline homophobic in my video. Oh, I don't have a needle drop. Oh, I do. Okay, bye. Now
all right, bye.
I'm thinking Tyvan.
Best musical moment, whether it's Kiss or Ship. I think I'm gonna go with Kate Vi.
There were so many needle drops when it comes to that.
One of the best ones I've seen.
Come on, like we have a lesbian artist in King Princess doing it.
Yeah. With a Radiohead song, Hello.
I could see Patty doing Linger for Taiwan.
I also think it's hard for her to argue against Taiwan because she loves them. We've got so many needle drops with them. I'm sending them in for sure. I am sending in Taiwan.
Okay.
I have a very strong case, I think.
You sure about that?
I'm gonna fight Taiwan with Kate Vi.
Shit. Oh no.
Patty was like, I got this in the bag, and then Kate Vi comes out.
Oh, now we gotta go?
Uh-oh. Okay, no, I got this in the bag though.
I think you might.
I'm going first. I got this. When you think needle drop, right, you think needle drop in terms of music. A good song starts playing, but I also think needle drop means just genuinely a good moment, something that makes you lose your marbles when you are watching. And I think Taiwan has multiple needle drops, actually. Let's state the obvious, the elephant in the room. The most recent needle drop being Van's death, a Radiohead song playing for her death. That song, ironically, also being called exit music for a film, right? That's what it's called, I think. One insane pull, insane needle drop. You can't get better than that. I'm sorry. Kate Vi has good needle drops with what's in there. It has a good soundtrack. I agree. But Taiwan has multiple needle drops even. They're kissing on the compound in season 2. I consider that a good needle drop too. There's built up. There's so much history that you don't know, and they finally kiss, and it's an insane kiss, and they go at it like I don't know, like animals. I'm sorry. And then you have another one, Linger by the Cranberries in season 3. Insane pull, insane needle drop. Mic drop. You can't get better than that. They have multiple amazing needle drops. I know Kate Vi has them too, but Taiwan is winning this category. I'm sorry. They are winning it. They're clearing the floor
in between this video and the next one.
No, okay, that was horrible. It's still fresh. But yeah, you can't beat them. I'm sorry. Best multiple needle drops, multiple amazing moments. Also on the teen timeline, amazing moments.
Not only Linger, but they were on their pretzel date in Central Park.
They were on their pretzel, exactly. Linger. And Linger by the Cranberries. I won this.
That was a very good argument.
Hit me.
So, yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about Kate Vi from Arcane.
Easily Kate Vi.
I'm going to center on
This is a hard one. I can't
Princess.
Choose.
Their sex scene in the jail cell.
And that scene.
How rarely do we see a lesbian artist write a song for a lesbian ship? Very rare. And you know who did it? Arcane. And you know who did it? Kate Vi. And not only did we have a great needle drop, but also it birthed a trend. Do you really need all the guards? Do you think I needed all the guards at the Hex Gate? Red and blue. Anytime you see anything red and blue, the tweets were going for days, for weeks, for months. And yeah, Caitlin they were banging in the jail cell.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people were very hesitant to see if they would actually do it, and they did. And it was not only did they do it, but they had it done behind a great track. And then I think also is Oil and Water, is that a song? I think that's is that a song? No, maybe that's just like a score, but when they were breaking up in the first season. But yeah,
the many times they broke up.
I only got 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Jail cell sex scene, fantastic King Princess.
And I'm sorry for interrupting you there.
Yeah,
no, it's okay.
Couldn't contain it. And I do realize that you were talking about how impactful it was and the trend and stuff. I get that, but I do think that Taiwan has more needle drops.
Oh no,
and I think
Taiwan takes it. I'm giving it to you.
Yeah. I feel bad that Kate Vi has to lose a category, but mothers win. Mothers win. Yes. Mothers win against my wives.
It's like you said. As soon as you mention Linger and the Cranberries, like that scene is so good. It makes me cry.
And it ties back to their past and to this promise. I will say that obviously Kate Vi, that was so impactful and so cool that it happened. And also with King Princess, like you made a good case for yourself, but I think my case was better.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree.
But we have to say it. This is also like, it's very important to me to not tear Kate Vi down because they're good. All the ships are good, and except for the two. but Unfortunately, you know, the categories, it is the way it is, you know? That's how to cook my video. The first 5 categories. So far, Caitlin is in the lead, 3-2. Unfortunately, I was not able to pull through in my own show. And you would potentially Caitlin's win.
I'm in the
Any other 4 here. Next feature.
Can't wait to.
That's all that's left. Hey, let me.
Okay, and I'm gonna watch this one in the next one. Well, not in the next one, but in about a few minutes based on this. And yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna continue reacting to this channel thing. Wait, is it?
Caitlin, today.
Okay, now it's on. Okay. I'm gonna be continuing the Sapphic ship battle. First we were watching Paddy's. Now we're watching Caitlin's. And I'm gonna be explaining what I'm gonna be doing at this part of the video. I'm gonna be skipping the intro on this one because we already had an intro, which it's gonna be like the opposite, which it's gonna be Caitlin's video, so it's gonna be her intro. And yeah, so the rules, I'm gonna skip the rules too because now we know the rules from before, from Paddy's video. And draft strategy.
Alright, let's talk about game plan here. I have a list of priority ships, which are just ships that I know I can talk about, like, very confidently, regardless of the category.
And in the next video,
so like Jackie Shauna, Denny and Jamie, Emmy Sue, Avatrice, Kazzy, Kate Vi, Kellyanne. Here's a little...
basically an update.
Look at the method to my madness. I listed out all the categories and, like, which ships can go in each one.
Caitlin is out here recording her draft strategy right now, and I'm very worried. She just said she doesn't have a strategy, but I think she does. Definitely. She strikes me as a very analytical person.
I don't have any notes about, like, specific plot points and stuff. I figured with 90 seconds, I feel like I'm just going to talk out of my ass the whole time, so it doesn't really matter what I say in these notes. There are a lot of ships that can go with multiple categories, so that's going to be where the game time decisions come in, where I'm like, okay, well, if I can use this one for this one, I need to just hedge my bets, because, again, we don't know which categories are going to show up.
I think she's going to sabotage my ships. And I would hate that.
And I've also decided that I'm not going to pick ships that I know that Paddy's going to go for, because I think I just need to work on my team and not try and sabotage her team, I feel like. But there are some that we're definitely going to be going after the same. Like, I feel like she's going to go after Kate Vi. Honestly, she can have the wild ships. I'm fine with that. Probably both be going after, like, Jackie Shauna or Damie. I'm letting her have Klexa. I'm just gonna say that right now. I'm letting her have it, because I didn't really watch the 100. I do have an ideal team. I'm just gonna say the names and we're gonna see if I end up getting them. Jackie Shauna,
didn't watch the 100? Come on!
Kazzy, Cachadora,
Really?
Tyvan, Calzona, Hosey, Avatrice, and then
Well,
like
the best
on the
show,
side
that's
I'm
why
like
I
Kate Vi would be
started
nice
liking
again.
Sapphic
I feel like that's gonna
ships
be
because
like
of the
one of
100.
Paddy's first picks. Emmy Sue
And
I
his Life is
love,
Strange.
and then like either the Buffy ships,
that's
Tilla
why I
or Buffy, I'll
thought,
take. That's the game plan. I'm very excited to see what Paddy's game plan is, and maybe we'll just end up going on vibes. Now, there is one category that is setting representation back 20 years, like borderline homophobic. We have like 2 bad ships on the ship list, but like I don't want to pick that ship, because then what if that ship never comes up and then I have to use them for something else, and I have to argue why a ship that I hate is the best non-canon ship or something like that. Like, that would be crazy. Yeah, I think that's the extent of my game plan. I don't really have a draft order in mind. Be sure to check out Paddy's video to see what her game plan is before we get into the draft. I have a plan, but sometimes the best plan is to throw away the plan. And we're gonna see if I have any skills in speech and debate, because I've never really done this before. But I can be very persuasive and adamant when I need to be about things that I'm passionate about, and so that's why I'm picking ships that I know through and through. I'm just gonna have to spin some narratives. I am.
Choose your character.
It is now time for the draft and to decide who goes first in our snake draft. We're gonna spin a wheel. I personally love a wheel. Paddy's nervous, and so am I. Are we ready?
Yeah. No, we're not ready, but go for it.
I don't know why, no matter what.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
Okay, so I have one. I have one to pick. I'm gonna pick first.
I can't put this anywhere, and I can't.
I'm sorry. I wanted to go first because I know what you're gonna pick. There is an obvious choice.
No matter where
the
I
first
put it, it's
pick
gonna
of
hear
our
the TV.
WLW ship battle.
And the only way that
I
doesn't
select
echo
Jackie Shauna.
is when I turn it down.
Okay.
Is that what you thought I was gonna do?
I don't know. I knew you were gonna go for them, but I figured you were gonna pick a different one first.
Now Patty gets 2.
So with the second pick of the Viliva ship draft, I select Klexa.
I will admit, I knew that you were gonna pick it, and I said in my draft thing, I was like, I'm letting Patty take it.
Aw, that's cute. I think I said I'm letting you take Jackie Shauna.
Was that the obvious one?
Oh, we are gonna be in the Yellow Jackets sphere, and I'm gonna pick Taiwan. Thought you were gonna pick him earlier.
Yeah, but I didn't think you were.
You saw that already?
We're gonna get started with the second half of our ship battle. We're gonna do 5 categories here. We just did 5 categories on Patty's channel, so go check it out if you haven't already. We had some very fiery debates there, and currently the score is 3-2. I'm in the lead.
I'm losing. I'm behind. I need to bring my A game now.
We have 5 ships left each. Some really big hitters on the table. I still have Jackie Shauna left. Patty still has Klexa left. We have the potential for some really good battles.
I guess it's time to find out what the first category is. Let's hit it.
Fuck. I really want that category to go.
Star-crossed lovers.
Oh. Oh, I know what you're gonna do. Okay, so I think I have a perfect ship here for Star-crossed lovers. Star-crossed lovers are literally like the universe is telling them not to be together, and I think by definition that's a Romeo and Juliet story. And you know which ship is literally a Romeo and Juliet story? Calliope and Juliet from First Kill. Literally opposite sides of
I didn't really see that one.
war.
Star-crossed lovers, I'm immediately thinking Klexa, so I'm gonna go with Klexa, and I think Caitlin knows it.
Patty's probably gonna pick Klexa, and so I'm gonna have to fight against Klexa.
They're star-crossed lovers. They come from entirely different worlds. Even one is from space, and they fall in love. And one is this grounded. Huge conflict that they have to take care of people, and that everything is just messy around them.
I know Klexa is a very prominent ship, and this is going to be very difficult.
I have a very personal attachment to Klexa. It's one of my favorite Sapphic ships, so I will hopefully do right by them. I think she might do Villeneuve or Caliette. Oh, she has Caliette. That's a good one too.
But
there's no fight.
Definition. Caliette is Star-crossed lovers. So our first category for my video is Star-crossed lovers. She's the one I'm going to pick Caliette from First Kill.
I'm not surprised at
all. The 100.
And I see your Caliette, and I obviously raise you Klexa.
Yep. I'm not surprised either. I'm gonna have to do a monumental job here. Okay, so when you think about star-crossed lovers, who do you think about? First person, first ship, Romeo and Juliet. And you know who is literally they're literally modeled after Romeo and Juliet, Calliope and Juliet from First Kill. And, star-crossed lovers is this idea that the universe literally won't let them be together, whether it be because of your class, whether it be because of your location, whatever, right? And Klexa, they might be literally star-crossed lovers because, they're in space, whatever. But Callie and Juliet, one is a vampire hunter and the other is a vampire. Those two are not supposed to work. And you see that in the first kiss that they have, which is crazy first kiss, by the way. She doesn't know she's a vampire. She tries to eat her, and then the other girl stabs her. And then they have their families. Then they, start to love each other, whatever, and they're like, oh, yeah, who cares that, maybe being no, those end. And then I
need to write it down now, but I can argue against the writing of First Kill. I did enjoy that show. I was very into it too, and I was severely embarrassed after, and have since privated my videos where I was reacting to this show because the writing was so bad. I mean, I ate her when talking about his mother-in-law. Anyways, let me just keep digging your grave even more. Is that even how you say it? I don't know, language barrier, whatever. When we came up with the concept for this video and we came up with categories, Caitlin asked me, what do you even mean with star-crossed lovers? I had to explain the concept of star-crossed lovers to her. And you know who I used as an example to explain it to her? Klexa. The star-crossed lovers, literally, because there's all kinds of space metaphors in the 100, Clark is literally from space in a way. They meet on Earth. They're from entirely different worlds, from entirely different backgrounds. They are both in huge leadership positions. They're both in charge of entire people, and they're both teenagers. And they somehow connect because they have so much in common, and they fall in love, and it's beautiful. And it's one of the worst bury your gays moments ever. It is. Our hearts were ripped out. They were ripped out, and that, ties back to Romeo and Juliet as well. Death, whatever. Klexa is the most impactful ship right now, because KlexaCon, whatever. They were a moment.
I would like to add that when we were talking about star-crossed lovers, I literally gave Patty the idea that they were literally, it was literally star-crossed because they were in separate universes.
I didn't even remember, honestly, really, I didn't even remember that you just told me that. Sorry. I do think Caliette is a very strong contender for this category, but I do think Klexa wins. I'm sorry.
No, I also think Klexa wins.
Thank you.
Winner.
I think they are the most impactful ship in between those two. I mean, for real. I got the point, which means we're even. 3-3.
Next up. I need something. Give me something. Oh, shit.
I didn't want this one.
Neither did I. Oh my god. This is a problem. This is a very big problem. I have a problem.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the list. You have a problem.
I have a problem, and it's that I was just banking on the fact that we wouldn't get wedding. I used Freeland early, and now I have Paley, Hosey, Jackie Shauna, and Villeneuve for wedding. And I don't want to use any of them. Patty's definitely going to use Calzona because they literally have a wedding.
Well, I have one married couple on my list, and that will be Callie in Arizona from Grey's Anatomy. I think it's quite obvious that I'm going to pick this one, so she's going to try and tear me down, but I have to go first. Okay. I don't know who she's going to choose. Maybe she will burn Emily and Paige. Maybe she will come up with a way that a scene between some of the other ships can be interpreted as a wedding.
Literally, what am I supposed to do? Did they go to a dance? Who is that? Really dumb? Maybe I can angle this. Did they go to prom together? It looks like they went to prom together. I'm gonna start talking out of my ass. Daddy, this is so bad. This is really bad.
I get the reference. So I think it's quite obvious. There's only one ship left that had a wedding. So I'm going to send in Kelly in Arizona from Grey's Anatomy.
You might be shocked with who I'm going to pick.
Okay, I'm very curious.
I'm going to put Paige and Emily.
I did say that. I was like, maybe she's going to burn them. I want to make a strong case for Callie in Arizona, but I'm very scared. I don't know what she's gonna do with that Paley one. I mean, she might try to tear down Calzona because they had their moments. I picked them because I kind of wanted them in the messy category. They had a bunch of breakups. They had I'm gonna go to Africa without you. I'm gonna do this. They had cheating. They had a divorce. They had a custody battle. I know it's messy. It sounds bad, but trust me, they had the wedding app too popular. I know I said go to have the spot and wedding
this is gonna be a really long video.
But you come up with something.
But you know what the statistic is? 50% of weddings end in divorce. And you know what happened to Callie in Arizona? They got divorced. So they're just a statistic. Why even bother having a wedding if you're gonna break up anyways? Am I right? Am I right? So. Which brings me to my ship, Paige and Emily. Now, maybe, they didn't get married, but they did go to a school dance, and they got into their outfits, and arguably a simulation wedding, a dry run, if you will, a rehearsal dinner, and they were surrounded. Sure, there wasn't a pastor or any vows exchanged, but it's as good as a wedding, is it not? They're both in white, and they're both dancing in the middle of the dance floor. And you know what? Maybe when they did it, they realized maybe we shouldn't get married. And they didn't have to go through all of that waste of money in both the wedding and the divorce. You know how expensive divorces are? You know how expensive weddings are? And you know what? Maybe that was the responsible thing to do, is have this dry run of a wedding and realize maybe that's not for us. But they still get to, if they never get married ever, they still get to have that memory of what could have been. Yep.
I want to add that
I'm
aspect.
not talking about Emily and Allison.
Yeah, it's true, but I already gave myself the point.
Yeah, valid.
I'm just thinking another category will come up and I'll have to use John, so it's gonna be the same.
I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I really didn't want wedding to come up. I did not.
I also didn't really plan on it. Really planned them for messiest ship because they had so many messes.
Next ship, Paddy has taken the lead, 4-3, but
not for long.
I got rid of Kaylee, and she still has Jonch, and I have Jackie, Shauna, and Hosey left. Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah.
This is gonna be a close one though. I think.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think she thinks I'm gonna pick Jackie Shauna.
She has one non-canon ship that she's obviously gonna use, which means I have to argue against Hosey.
I'm gonna do Hosey. Because in my mind, Jackie Shauna's canon. There are so many things that Jackie Shauna can go for, and we're just gonna keep them.
She's gonna use Hosey. They have a huge case for them. The good thing is that I'm going second. And I think Claire is an amazing non-canon ship. They have so much potential. They were roommates. I'm gonna write this down.
I'm gonna put Hosey because I was a really big Hosey back in like 2021.
That's also how we met. That's a connection that we have. Maybe she'll actually use that and be like, this is our connection. I don't know though, Caitlin. Watch yourself.
They were never canon, but they had so much potential and so many parallels between the actual canon ship of Hope and Landon and everything, and their love story would have been so perfect. I mean, it kind of already is, even without any actual confirmation.
She's really like making her case. I can see her yapping away.
I think I can make the best argument for best non-canon ship with Hosey. I mean, it was written there, and Brett Matthews and Julie Plec couldn't read, and it was horrible, but we're gonna do it, and I'm excited. Okay, so for best non-canon ship, I am putting up Hosey from Legacies.
Really? You don't say. And can you guess who I'm putting in this fight? It's gotta be Claire, and I'm actually very excited. I think this is closer than one might think.
I'm going in this determined to win.
Okay, me too.
Oh, this one I don't even know which
from
one
Legacies
to choose.
is one of the worst, like...
That one's good on Wednesday.
they had so much potential. I'm very passionate about this, so I don't even know what I'm saying. They have some of the best potential in the show, and they simply never.
I'm siding with the.
And she wanted forgot their balance there because I'm into
we met.
I'm skipping some,
and I'm gonna try and pull doing my heartstrings.
I'm trying not to put this
I'm appealing
to
viewers.
I think honestly, going into this, I think this might be a point the viewers have to decide. I agree. Hope and Josie, amazing non-canon ship. I love him so much. It's how we met. It's an amazing couple with so much wasted potential that should have happened. But you know what didn't happen? Them. They did not happen. The show was over. It got canceled because it was so awful. And by the end of it, we were all suffering and only there because of Hosey, which arguably is a strong argument for them. But you know who can still happen? Claire. Season 2 is airing, a shameless plug, I don't know, Season 2 is airing later this year, and I think there definitely is so much potential there that has not been wasted yet, because they might still happen. We have the textbook Grumpy Sunshine. I was waiting for that category to use them because they would have cleared that category, but now they're clearing this category. They are textbook Grumpy Sunshine. We have Wednesday Addams, and we have Enid Sinclair. I don't need to explain how they're Grumpy and Sunshine. It is Grumpy Sunshine. It is perfect. They are roommates, you know? Let me say that again. They were roommates. So, what a beautiful pipeline that would be. Roommates to lovers. It's amazing. It's right there. Enid wasn't able to turn into a werewolf until Wednesday was in trouble. Then she was finally able to do it. She got over it. She saved her life. They had the most amazing hug. Wednesday hugged her back, even though Wednesday doesn't hug, but she did it with Enid. What else? They are amazing. They're cute. They have a height difference as well. They're super cute. I
just gotta talk about this. That ending, when they hugged, and I think I talked about this before in the beginning of the video. Jenna Ortega did say that she doesn't think Wednesday can be in a relationship, but the way that they handled season 1 and the way that she actually agreed to the hug, it's set up that where it can actually work. That's the only one that can work based on the show. You gotta look at the story. Like, the amount of times, like, basically it's their relationship. She went to the school, that's her roommate on the show, and they basically had to team up together for a rowboat thing. I forget what it was for exactly. It's been about a year since I saw it, so kind of forgot exactly what. But yeah.
Oh wow, a hug. Ah.
What do you want me to say about Hosey? Do you want to get into it?
A non-consensual kiss is never the answer. She wanted her to kiss her.
No, she did. No.
But if your ship does come canon, then at least Hosey by definition is a non-canon ship because it can never be canon.
Ooh, true, but the timer's up. You don't get to argue.
I know.
And I genuinely think I want to leave this up because I really don't know who wins this. For real, I'm not saying this so that I can, because I don't want to give you the point. I really want to give it to both of us because I think they both really work.
So how are we going to deal with this in our scoring system?
That's the question.
Like, do we get half points? Do we both get a point?
Do we share them, or is that dumb?
Because then they can't tie. We can't tie.
If you share the points, we can't tie, which would be actually kind of
Would it be
smart.
better?
Both of us get a point, or we pick one.
I guess we can both get a point.
I feel like I'm bending the rules so that I can win. This is awful.
What? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because that battle was so close, we're gonna leave it up to you guys and definitely tell us in the comments who you think won between Hosey and One Claire. But for now, we're both gonna get a point.
Shit.
Now that both of us get those points, we can no longer tie, so there will be a clear winner after this video, so stay tuned. The score is now 5-4. Patty is in the lead, but she still has Jonch left. So
Stop reminding me. Stop it. You got two strong ones left. This is horrible.
I do.
Oh, you won this one. Oh, you
Maybe
won
I
this
have.
one.
I was gonna say I haven't been doing a very good job at arguing my points because I'm just literally going off the dome, and it seems like you have bullet points.
No, I don't have bullet points.
Oh, you
Not at
don't?
all, really.
Oh,
no.
you're doing great. You're doing
I'm
really
just
well.
see. This is what I have. I just have the
just
ships,
the
and
list.
occasionally I wrote down little things, but it's not. It's not. I don't have bullet points. It's vibes in here.
Okay, this is a perfect category for me, considering who I have left. I have Jackie, Shauna, and Villeneuve. Definitely Jackie, Shauna. I mean, come on. Jackie Taylor haunts the narrative of Yellow Jackets from the very first season.
All right, she's definitely going Jackie Shauna. It is the most obvious doomed by the narrative ship. You could argue Villeneuve also kind of fits. She has two very strong ships left. My only option is to use Jonch to burn it. I think she knows that too.
Who's she gonna? I guess she's gonna pick Shoni. I don't even know.
Maybe I.
Because now every single season, Jackie's in the season. Like, she hunts the narrative. What they just said. She's in every single season, Jackie. Jackie was in a dream for 2 episodes or 3 last season, season 3. And season 2, she was mainly there in hallucinations in one dream, I think it was. I totally forget a little bit.
I can actually kind of turn this into yes, they were doomed by the narrative because they sucked from the beginning, so they didn't even try. Maybe I can turn it into something like this.
Everything that Shauna goes through is because of Jackie. See, the thing is I say all my good points in this section, and I forgot to say them when I'm actually talking to Patty.
I'm just happy that I get to see Caitlin talk about Jackie Shauna for 90 seconds uninterrupted. It's gonna be so good. She'll cook. I already know it. I think we both know who I'm gonna send into this because I've already given up on this category, so I'm sending in Jonch.
Okay. Okay. Obviously I'm sending in Jackie Shauna.
Really? I'm so surprised.
I'm so excited for you to
I'm so surprised.
tell me why Jonch was doomed by the narrative.
I will tell you.
sorry I'm skipping here.
You sitting down for this? A ship doomed by the narrative, aka kind of haunting the narrative. Also, like a ship that just always comes back, that never leaves you. And that is what happened with Jonch. Jonch was this horrible ship that was doomed by the narrative from the very beginning. The second Finch was introduced on it, and you accepted nothing about that. Doomed by.
Was their first kiss the fireworks?
I think so. I don't remember. See, I've blocked out everything. I couldn't even tell you any plot stuff. Did you know I just talked about how they were doomed from the very beginning because I don't even remember. I've blocked that all out for obvious reasons. But I think I made a good case, right? I had a good...
It was a nice spin that you
right?
put on it. Yeah. But unfortunately, I think you're about to get pounded by Jackie Shauna. Jackie Shauna is one of the most important ships in Yellow Jackets because Jackie Taylor haunts the narrative. Everything that happens to Shauna Shipman, teen timeline, adult timeline, is because of her relationship with Jackie Taylor. And Ella Purnell even wanted to stay on the show for longer, but the showrunners said, no, your death, Jackie's death, is so central to the narrative that you cannot live. You have to stay dead. And you know, a common thing that everyone says, Silver Springs, you'll never get away from the sound of the woman that loved you. And that is exactly what is happening with Jackie Shauna, okay? And they are just, unfortunately, they're meant to fail. Like, Shauna's harboring so many secrets from Jackie. She's going to Brown. They're not going to Rutgers together. She's pregnant with her boyfriend's baby, okay? Not because she likes Jeff, but because she wants to be with Jackie, and that is a Jackie replacement. You know, tell me you love me after Jackie doesn't say I love you back when they drop her off at her house, okay? And so there's so many things happening, and Jackie Taylor continues to pop up in hallucinations after Jackie dies in the snow and they eat her. Like, it's all... And there again, Jackie's death is central to the narrative. She is the first act of cannibalism with the ear, with the actual feast. Jackie saves them in the winter, okay? And that is why Jackie Shauna is doomed by the narrative.
Yep.
And the best ship of all time. Mic drop.
You had that in the bag the second this category was picked or selected, I guess.
And I'm sorry that I'm skipping a few of them because on time, I don't want the video to be crazy long. I wanted to do a video for
I
this,
said
so I can
when
give them
I was talking to my
shout-outs
audience, I said that I was excited to hear you talk 90 seconds about Jackie Shauna, because I knew you were gonna do a good job, great job even.
I hope I didn't disappoint. I think that was one of my better arguments because I knew what to say.
Because that was your ship.
That's my ship.
And I think this has now set us up with such an exciting last category moment. Because
we're tied
5-5.
We're tied 5-5, and we each have one ship left. I have Villeneuve, and Patty has Shoney. And now the question is, which category are we going to have to duke it out with? Just to get that last point, to see who wins the ship battle. I think this is the best finale that we could have gotten. So let's spin the wheel.
I'm worried, because I think it really depends on the category.
It really does. Shit.
Is that Grumpy Sunshine? Yes,
it's Grumpy Sunshine. Okay.
This was the best possible one for me, honestly.
I think it was.
Okay, but you have to start, right? Oh, this is also so strong for me. I can follow up.
It is.
Yes.
Flashback.
Though, if Grumpy Sunshine ever comes up, I'm gonna have to make a crazy argument for something else.
End of flashback.
So, I'm a little fucked. I think that was the worst possible outcome.
I think this was the best possible outcome for me. Couldn't have asked for anything better, really.
Because I could have argued, like, borderline homophobic, messy as shit. But Grumpy Sunshine is something, especially against Shoney, that's really hard to follow up with because of who they are.
Shelby obviously being the sunshine, whereas Tony is the little grumpy, little evil sprout that hates her, despises her in the beginning.
Who's the sunshine in this scenario here?
Excited, and I'm watching. Caitlin is sharing her screen, and she's pulling up Grumpy Sunshine.
I don't even know. Like, can I just, like, pretend that we're gonna do, like, Black Cat and Golden Retriever? Like, this is gonna be a problem. This is such an immense problem. that like none of them are sunshine because they're both really depressed and gay.
Shoni has the grumpy sunshine dynamic. If she's doing that, I'm doing that too.
Or I think I argue that Villanelle is the sunshine. Because she can be fun and she jokes sometimes. Out of all the ones, shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some crazy spinning, but honestly, I don't know if I have it in me. Neither of them is the sunshine. God. And I have to go first? Oh,
I have no idea which one to go with.
Googled some stuff.
Oh, yeah. I have to go first?
Is yours. Oh, yeah, you have to go first. This is a huge advantage for me, honestly.
Oh my god. This is so bad. Like, this was the worst possible outcome for me.
And the best possible one. The only good one for me. Because Villeneuve, I would say, I would give you any points, but not in this category. This is the only good one for me.
I don't even know where I'm going with this. Okay, on the surface, Villeneuve might not seem like Grumpy Sunshine, because you ask yourself, who is the sunshine in this scenario? They're both very sad and very gay. But I think you could argue that when they're together, they bring out the sunshine in each other. You know, they're grumpy with other people, but when they're together, they're happy, right? And so in this scenario, I am saying that Villanelle is the sunshine and Eve is the grumpy. And I think I would say that because Villanelle gets a kick out of messing with Eve. And, you know, she stabs her and she thinks it's funny. And she thinks she's messing with her. You know, she messes with Eve's husband and she thinks it's funny. And honestly, I think she's had the most laughs when she's around Eve and when she's messing with her. And also, you know, Grumpy Sunshine can also be like Golden Retriever and Black Cat, and Villanelle's blonde, like a Golden Retriever. And, you know, Eve has black hair, like Black Cat. See, this is me spinning the narrative here.
I can tell.
Yeah, I don't know which one can win.
That's literally very well. I know I have more time left, but I really don't have anything going for me in this category. So, unfortunately. And I'm also going against Shoni. Like, how am I supposed to argue that?
And especially now that I can follow up, too. Oh, that was a nice crack, too. Haha. Okay, let's do this. Give me the stage. But I think you did the right choice by saying Eve was the grumpy one and Villanelle would be the happier one. But I also do think that whenever she laughs, it's because she's killing someone or she's having a blast, you know, doing those things that she does. Anyways, I'm here to talk about Shoni, who are the
Yellow Jacket
of Grumpy Sunshine.
Both of them on my favorite Yellow Jacket
side, we have Shelby, pageant girl from Texas, very outgoing, extroverted, just a very happy person. Deep down, she has her issues and the baggage that she carries, but she doesn't necessarily show it on her sleeve. She instead decides to be a very nice person and has a very nice personality, the sunshine personality, versus Tony. Tony, who is very grumpy, has a lot of baggage and obviously a lot of self-preservation, or like a lot of techniques to kind of keep to herself, and only has... is it Martha? I forgot her name. No, it's not. I don't know. Why? Her bestie, you know, who's also on the island. How did I forget about this? Anyways, and these two clash immediately. They have the perfect sunshine, grumpy setup, and it works. They clash. Shelby over here with her little ass breakers and trying to make the best out of the situation, trying to make the light of the situation after a plane crash, versus Tony, who does not want to talk to her, who does not want to have to do anything with her, also thinks Shelby's homophobic when she really isn't, and it's just clashes and they fall in love and the rest is history.
Yeah, you get that point.
Yes.
Winner.
Like you said, they are the Grumpy Sunshine. And, like, if I had a different ship to go against, maybe I stood a chance. But with Villeneuve, no fucking way.
In any other category, they would have won because they're such a strong, cool ship. Like, toxic, messy, but also a death trope, for example, too. Like they have so much going for them.
I could have argued so much. Like, I could have argued borderline homophobic and messiest and enemies to lovers.
Enemies to lovers would have been so close, honestly, because they both fit that. But I think maybe you actually, because yours is way more serious. I'm talking about teenagers here, and you're talking about grown-ups. But yeah, I think I win this.
You do.
I did not expect to come out on top here in this scenario, judging from the way it started in my video. I was thinking I was gonna be left behind somewhere.
It was a good battle though. It was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun. Sure, it's easy for me to say because I technically won, but it didn't really feel like I don't know, like super serious battle and I hate you and your ships and mine are so much better. It really felt like we had cute moments where we could really argue about ships that we love, and I really loved it.
We had a lot of fun, and if you guys liked it as well, we're definitely open to doing another video. There are so many other ships we could have covered, and we also didn't even touch movies, and there's so many other tropes that we love. So in addition to telling us who you think won this overall battle, tell us who you want us to feature in another video. Ships.
Okay. That's the end of this video. I'm gonna try to do more reaction things. I just kind of wanted to do this because it's two of my favorite YouTubers, and it was about Sapphic ships and all that, and it was a battle. I kind of wanted to talk about some ships that I've watched and seen, and yeah, and I got to talk about Wednesday and all that whole thing, but I just don't know what else to do for videos. I want to do some reaction videos. I want to do something that's not gameplays. Anything but gameplays. Anything but gameplays. I'm trying to look for, like, reaction videos, trying to look for trailers. I might do reaction videos for, like, movies and all that. I don't know. But I don't know what parts to cut out, because I know you can only do certain screen time for reaction things. Like if you're reacting to a TV show or a movie, you only get a certain amount of time and all that, and you don't get a strike. And depends on the show too, and it depends on the publisher of the show and all that, and who's sending it out. But yeah, I just don't really know what to do exactly about that. So I just don't know what to do at all. I want to do something. I don't want to do gameplays on the channel. And I'm kind of running out of gameplay stuff because I mainly want to do choosing an adventure gameplays, and that's all I can really do for the channel because that's where it started out to be, and that was the beginning of this channel. And yeah, I just don't know what else to do at all. But yeah, I'll see you next one, and